In this video, we're going to check out the new Quilter 101 Mini Reverb with the Blockdock 10TC. Alright guys, so I am Doctor McFarland. Thanks for checking out my channel. And if you are watching this video, then you are probably interested in what this Blockdock 10TC and also the 12TC that they have as well from Quilter. You're probably interested in what this thing sounds like and how it pairs up nicely with a actual block style amplifier that Quilter provides. Here in this video, I have the 101 Mini Reverb. In the past, I have had the Pro Block, and there's many other options out there. You got the 201. There's a OD 200 now, or Overdrive 200, which is a dual channel amplifier. So you can really pick and choose, the style of a block head that you want, and then match it up with the cab, and kind of have the perfect little combo. So I do have the Quilter Micro Pro Mach 2, and that has served me really well for about a year now, and I've used it at weddings and small gigs, and it just has plenty of power. But when I saw the Blockdock was going to be coming out, I was like, man, it seems like it'd be the perfect size. Can also run it with the Micro Pro and have a good stereo setup if I needed to. The 101 Mini Reverb does go up to 50 watts. For the sake of levels on the microphones and stuff in this video, I'm going to keep it down below 10 watts. I think it's around probably 5 watts right now. But even at 5 watts, it's still pretty loud. I think you'd have to turn it up just a little bit more to maybe keep up with a drummer if you didn't have the cab mic'd up. But I think for the most part, I mean, this is a very good playing level, so you're not blowing out everyone in the house or the apartment, but you can still hear it. It has a nice full sound, and that's one of the things that I was pretty impressed with right out of the box is, wow, this amplifier sounds very even, sounds very pure. It's got a good pure tone to it, and it just sounds great. But let me go ahead and mess with this amp a little bit more. So one thing I do like about this is it has very simple controls. It does have a effects loop, send and return, and also a headphone jack. So you can plug headphones in and practice silently pretty much wherever you go. And you don't even have to have a speaker load on the amp itself. You could just have the head, take it to a hotel room and plug some headphones in and practice and play and pretty much get amazing tone wherever you go. So let me turn the limiter down and the reverb down, and let's just get a good bass tone here, okay? So here's the limiter and the reverb all the way off. As you can see, the bass, mid, and treble are at 12 o'clock. And here we go. All right, so this is a good tone. Let's just dial it back for just a slightly cleaner tone. Let me put it on the neck pickup. Back to bridge. Alright. So with me, I like to really juice the amp just a little bit, so there's a good breakup and bloom happening within the notes. And let me turn the master down just a little bit more. So here's a good crunch kind of sound on the bridge pickup. Alright, so with me, my a pretty standard thing that I do is the more gain that I add, I'll actually roll off a little bit more bass. So let me go ahead and do that. And I'm going to boost the treble just a little bit. So all right, let's go ahead and crank the gain all the way up and see what kind of tone that gets. And I'm going to turn the master down. All right, so I think of this volume with the master down the way it is and with the gain cranked up, it can tend to get a little fizzy. But what you're primarily hearing, and this can happen with tube amps as well, is what you're hearing more preamp gain versus power amp gain. And that can sound a little bit fizzy, I mean, even with tube amps. So, all right, so with that said, let's go ahead and turn the master up just a little bit. And I am a guy that uses an HX effects for pretty much all my gain sounds, reverb delays. That's another reason why I like this 101 Mini Reverb, because it does have the effects loop, so I can place the effects in the chain where I need to and have good gain staging and signal flow and all that fun stuff. So, so I probably wouldn't really use this amp with the gain all the way up, because I think there's, actual overdrive pedals and distortions that can give you more of the sound you're looking for. And what Quilter is great about is really providing you with a good pedal platform, because it has a very clean interface, Class D power amp technology that you can give you the response and the sag of a tube amp without having to get you all the way there to like full on, metal amp tones. I mean, it's just, I think pedals are better suited for all that kind of stuff, because then you can get more variation out of the tones instead of just being stuck with that, with the gain channel of your amp or something. So, I'm going to keep it fairly clean, but let's I have the master up for just a little bit. So. All right, so let's go ahead and turn the limiter up. And what that's going to do is actually reduce the gain going into the preamp circuit. So it's actually going to clean it up and also add a little bit of compression to the overall sound. So here's the limiter at 12 o'clock. the limiter off one more time. So you can hear a little bit of fizz, a little bit of gain going on in the preamp circuit. And as you turn that up, it's gonna help clean it up a little bit. Preamp down, limiter up just a little bit more. So with that limiter up, you can really hear the sustain of the notes, and it does clean up the preamp section just a little bit. Cool, that sounds good. All right, lastly, let's check out the reverb. So here's just about 10 o'clock. So it has a very natural tail to it. Actually sounds really good. So let's crank it up a little bit more. And at the 12 o'clock mark, I call that also 50%. And you're going to start getting, half wet, half dry. And any more than that, you're going to start losing your dry tone. So actually prefer at least 50%. And then back it off a little bit from there. So yeah, I think that sounds pretty good. We'll back it back down to 10, and this will just give me a good deluxe reverb kind of sound. So alright, cool. So that is probably the setting I would keep it at most of the time. It just sounds really good. And this 10-inch speaker in here has a nice full sound. It's actually kind of deceiving a little bit because, this cab is not very big. It really fills the room. It has this nice full sound to it. So that is the 101 Mini Reverb with the Blockdock 10TC. I am Doctor McFarland. I will see you in the next video. Keep rocking. So why do people call me Doctor McFarland? Because I heal people with sweet rock and roll.